Okay, we got One Piece chapter 1183. Brief spoilers with panels. Sanji arrives at the giant village and fights Zaza, the MMA that Killingham made. And we got some panels for this real quick. Loki slash Ragnar versus Emu continues. Emu says Nika and Nidhogg will die, just like Dozan, which huge name drop, huge ancient lore drop. Brook flashback starts. We can see Brook's face. And this is just tearing the community up. A lot of people are saying how this guy looks like young Hendrix. Other people think it looks like a young Michael Jackson. But only God knows, because heaven forbid it looks like what everybody else has been sharing in the community, which is essentially just Luffy with an afro, which is just god awful. Brook, 20 years old, and Princess Shuri, who is 9 years old, living in Esparia Kingdom. Brook was the leader of the battle convoy in Asparia Kingdom. One day, a gangster tried to attack the queen, but Brook defeated him and the syndicate. Brook was a very famous in the kingdom, but not as famous as the queen. Her name was Queen Candle, and she was the former leader of the defense convoy in Asparia Kingdom. And we got a few extra bulletins here. So in this chapter, Usopp asks Brook why he suddenly went to fight Gunko, and then when Brook begins to remember his life. We don't know who Danzan is in the chapter, but it's written in the katakana, and I think it is read as Dulzan or Dozan. In this chapter, we see Brook's face without the glasses. We see his eyes for the first time in the series. Also, Brook didn't have the scar on his head yet in the chapter. This is very important because what I think this is, you know, the saying that the eyes are a portal into one's soul. Brook has the soul fruit. I feel like this is a huge foreshadowing event, and how they're basically going to leap in using Brook as a placeholder into describing what the soul is in the world of One Piece, like the boundaries, like the tangibility of it all, like, you know, him being the soul user. Kind of, we have this thing going on with Emu where he can kind of use Maki, which is like in all things. So people are kind of speculating that this could just be a soul manipulation. And the fact that we see his face with his glasses, we see his eyes. The portal to one's souls is the eyes. In terms of the fight going on with the Nidhogg, you know, and Emu, Loki, this can keep going for a while. I don't even mind. And it looks like we're going to continue Elbaf well into probably 2027, because we're going into another flashback, which is pretty rad. I don't mind going into flashback because flashbacks are pretty lit, and we're kind of having this huge end game just mesh where you have to start tying threads up here, and this is probably the best time to do it on a long-awaited arc like Elbaf. So, yeah, tell me what you guys think.